Hey everyone, I just want to give you a quick update over what's going on. So we've gotten so far into this, it's not funny. We had some setbacks along the way. We lost about a week and a half when our key programmer for DML, Decrypt My Leads, is from Bangladesh. And their government went into some kind of a riot until the prime minister or something, the old guy fled, basically. So during that period of time, the internet got knocked offline. So he was down for a handful of days, and then we'd see him kind of appear and go, I'm trying this connection, then he'd be gone again, then he'd come back. I'm trying that connection, then he'd be gone again. And then he finally said, hey, I'm on a VPN, it's slow but stable, which turned into, okay, now the issue is over and the internet's back and I'm back in full glory. And that's good, because another piece, we started off attaching things through Go High Level. That turned out to have some issues because we had to connect it to DML. Then we tried switching to Make.com. And then we found we can't use it so fully, but partially. And so along with Make, we were able to build our own infrastructure, our own APIs, or event listeners, and webhooks, sorry. And so we got all that stuff together and started tying everything into the system. And so we're down to the final pieces, but all the hard stuff is done. So I just want to show you this. So yeah, the websites are still grabbing leads like mad. I cannot wait until we're starting to offer the leads to buyers, but let me continue. So we got the the page up, the landing page really for the DUI lawyers, so that when we call them and we send them somewhere, it's here. And here's where they can select a plan or they can book a call. They can see what we can do. This video is just getting replaced now with the right video for them. Okay. That's going up here shortly. So, and I mean like in an hour. And so we've got our early bird pricing. They can get this or that. They can sign up to the account and they can see what we're doing. They can understand what our vision is. All this stuff is here to make it cool enough, okay? So that we can just roll this thing forward. So it's really awesome. This thing is set up very, very well for easy leads. So if we move forward from there, I just want to point out when we have a bunch of leads like this, okay, we've been working on mini scripts, and I love some of these scripts. They're coming out so well. So we've been getting them going for DUI and then following up with nationwide accident attorneys, auto accidents, so that we can immediately follow up with that. Then we're going to add in ADAR, right? Alcohol, drug abuse rehab. But we've been going through a bunch of these pieces to get this thing figured out. So having said that, it's been really coming along nicely. So some of these scripts, they're just really awesome. They lay out the case right, depending on which way the conversation goes. And from that, we've been also dealing with how you set up the campaigns so that we have all these outbounds in the different time zones. That was something the system couldn't provide. We had to create our own system for segregating leads by time zone and then creating campaigns separate from one another, and then when to run them, when to stop them. All these things are handled sort of a hybrid of human and API, but it's really coming along. So I love the fact that we're able to control this stuff so efficiently and clearly so it's not chaotic or anything. Now, along with that, we've been doing so much testing, right? So we'll do test calls as 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes, 46 seconds, 17 seconds, 20 seconds. How does it answer? 5 minutes, 2 minutes. It goes on and on. Look at this. We've been just calling and tweaking, calling and tweaking, calling and tweaking, calling and tweaking, improving, testing. So I love it. We've been going through the script A, we've been going through the script B, all this kind of thing we've been doing to get prepared for this launch. All right, and starting in with just all the stuff, okay? So we also started figuring out how to organize the leads and grab the leads that we're after contacting. And so we can choose the leads based on the size of the company, number of the employees, the amount of perceived revenue, age of the operation, their location, all that kind of thing. So able to grab all these leads and just straight call them. And we know who we're contacting. We know the executive information, who it is we're trying to reach, and what to do if they say that person doesn't work there anymore, or how to ask who's in charge of the marketing for the company and so on. There are different ways it's being done that's built into the process, and I love the way that's going in the scripts. We're going to try to make all these scripts as demo scripts. I'm not sure about the outbound cold caller scripts, but the pre-qual scripts anyway, because outbound cold caller, it's got to call you, but pre-qual, you'll be able to call it. So we're going to have the pre-qual scripts done soon. So just to give you a sample of how that goes too, even when you double check with GPT for more settings than the ones you thought of already, it starts right in. Type of DUI offense, whether it's a first offense, repeat offense, or felony DUI. Type of vehicle. Some lawyers don't handle cases involving commercial drivers or specific vehicle types. So the reason for gathering this information is twofold. One is to get the information about what happened from the person involved, okay, including if they're a minor. Some lawyers don't handle cases where it's a minor, okay? And then the question is, how many leads per week can they handle? All this stuff needs to be gathered as data, right? But on the pre-qual calls, we're going to be able to figure out how to ask this, how to ask that, how to ask that. Accident involvement, whether there was an accident or property damage involved. We have most of this stuff built in anyway, but this just allows us to double check. We can go through a checklist when we call and test how it acts. Okay, refusal of breathalyzer, timing of the incident, whether there were injuries or just damage to property or automobiles, if there are pending charges that have something to do with this, like additional charges, or if the person's been avoiding a charge before and this is a secondary thing, whether the fellow's license was suspended, revoked, or restricted at the time of the accident. Can you believe it? So by getting all this quality data from each lead before matching in our database, that's the other part of it. When the lawyers sign up to the program, they basically see this list, so to speak. They're going to see settings involving these things and the rest of the questions we already have, allowing them to clarify what they do and don't do, okay? What they accept and what they don't accept, all right? And we're going to make these demo pre-quals available to the lawyers to listen to so that they can give us feedback on anything that's missing inside the account. And also they can know why they want to join this program because they can hear what we are asking the people on the phone. And they can see the level of quality, the detail, the fact that we are asking the right questions, right? Whether there are cases involving challenges to the validity of the BAC test, if there's like a challenge against that put forward by the person who was caught. Court appearances, willingness to handle cases requiring frequent or out-of-town court appearances. That makes sense. Do you need to meet the client at the airport when he keeps flying back in for his case, right? Maybe, maybe not. Language preferences. What if the person involved speaks a different language? Well, does the lawyer also, right? Spanish, say. Or French, or who knows what, right? What if it's a situation like that? An older fellow, probably Spanish would be the case, but there you go. Payment plans. Now, we don't know if we should bring that up on the call. We might just leave that open and available because we don't even know. We can't ask as a pre-qual, are you able to pay up front or do you need to make payments? We can't ask. We don't know what the lawyer's going to charge, so we don't know if the guy's able to pay up front. Right? So that's probably not going to go into the list, but everything else has justification for being part of the process. So which things go into the actual flow chart, which things go into the knowledge base, which things belong in both places. These are the things we're final tweaking. Okay, so we're going to finalize this stuff over the next few working days. Everyone's exhausted. They're going to take the weekend off for sure. Then we're going to hit it next week, get these final things into place where we think we're ready to launch. Then we're going to start pouring the leads into the different settings for the different time zones. Think about how cool that is. Best time to call is 8 to 9 a.m. in the time zone. That's what they say. Best time to call in the afternoon is 5 to 6 p.m. Now, the reality check is that's not necessarily true for lawyers and law firms. They spend a lot of their day talking to clients when they happen to call in about their cases. So they're either busy and in court, or many of them are not that day. They're doing research on a case that's going to be up later, but they're willing to break off and answer a call for a potential new client now. And so they're used to getting calls in the middle of the day for things that could matter. Paralegals offering their services, people calling to say we have a better, more efficient way of sorting through and finding the answers you're looking for that you would use your paralegals for, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So, yeah, we'll spend a handful of days like tweaking, testing, and then calling some guys, seeing how that goes. What I want to be able to do is figure out how to make the calls available to you guys when they go live so that you can listen to them, read them, or you could even give feedback maybe to us, right? We'll probably have a different way for you to do it than to put feedback on independent calls. But the point simply is that you can listen in, you can see what's going on. Because pretty soon we're going to have transparency in your accounts. When we start collecting pay, we want to make it clear to you the pays that you've got coming so that we can roll you through the process, right? Depending on how you came in and how you're classified, you'll be able to roll through. And so, yeah, I'm excited. So as soon as we hit pay dirt, and we're getting a certain, that's the point. The job of the script writers is to get a certain percentage of people to visit the landing page, okay? That's their only job. Their job isn't what they do when they get to the landing page. Their job is to get them there, get these people there, interested in seeing what's available on the landing page and knowing what's to come for the most part. So the cold callers get people to the landing page. Now it's the job of the people who created the landing page to make sure, well, it's the job of the people who created the landing page to follow through how people are reacting when they get there. Can we put, and we will put like today or tomorrow, we're going to put in the script that allows us to visually see what people do when they land on the page so we can watch them react to the page, so we can see if there's anything off. But it's pretty cool. I like this. Above the fold. Here's the video that explains what's going on. Here's where they can select a plan. A lot of guys, they don't need to sign up for a call because they get the point already. They got the point from the cold call. They understand what this is about. This will beat the hell out of Google ads or Facebook ads or YouTube ads because it's cheaper pre-qualified leads that are right for them without them paying per click, okay, including all the click fraud. So many guys are just going to be in. They're going to get it. Some guys are going to have questions. They're going to sign up for when they can talk. No problem. But all this stuff is available right here. Nothing's hidden. And then as they go through, there's just more stuff where they can check out what we got going on. And that's what the point is here. See what we can do. Takes them down to this stuff, right? And then if they get to the bottom, they're like, I wonder what to do now. Get started, click here. Guess what? It brings them right back up here where they can decide if they want to do this or this or this. Awesome, right? Absolutely cool. And then based on their responses, we will put them into buckets. Anyone who goes, yeah, it's beautiful, but I can't pull this off really, I would need a cheaper option. We're going to call back in like 3 days, different voice, different number, making a different offer, but that'll be to a different page where they're getting in on a co-op with like 2 other guys for $3,000 together where the leads will be cycled through them, but they can pay $1,000. Get it? To be in the co-op. And then depending on another option where some guys say, well, I'm curious how this will unfold. We can offer them to pay for the equivalent of 1 lead per month to be in on the list and get shown the leads so that they can see them grow over the course of time. A bunch of people are going to want to hop in that. Now, we don't offer it up front. We offer it last of all to the people who don't react to this or don't have anything to do with $1,000 a month option, for example, right? So we will fine tune this as we go and it'll help us raise our conversion percentage, right? So I think a lot of next week is going to be tweak, improve, and try to get our first sales. And depending on the performance, that's the way I set up with the cold callers. So they get their bonuses based on what? Like if they can get 1% to land on this page, 1.5% to land on this page, 2% to land on this page, 2.5% to land on this page, up to like 5% is really our goal for right now. We'll figure out what we're doing past 5%. Obviously, it's worthwhile, but that's their goal, to tweak it, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it, okay? Get people here. And then from here, it's the landing page developer's job to make sure that people like what they see and that they're reacting and that this shows up great on mobile and all that stuff and all the functions work. And then it's the job of the crew, anyway, the programmer side, to make sure all this stuff connects to DML in the right kind of way. Because when people sign up here and they decide to make a payment, we create their account automatically inside Decrypt My Leads as a customer, not a position owner, as a customer. And they have all those fields, those settings that they can say, yes, I accept minors, or no, I don't accept minors. I do accept cases from people who live out of state and fly in, or out of the area and fly in, etc. They're going to have those options. Then they have where they can put notes so that we can check out the notes, see if there's anything we also want to add in or whatever. But we will refine and improve this at full speed. Okay. Now this is beautiful. As the leads go out to the related lawyers, say all these guys need leads. This guy grabs the first one. Now he's busy. He's on the case. So he's kind of out of the picture. Next lead that comes in will probably be that guy who grabs it. Now they're both busy. So the next lead that comes in might be that guy who grabs it, right? And what happens when everyone grabs their leads? Well, sooner or later, they're done with their cases and they're ready for more leads. Or they're mature enough in the setup of the cases that it's just going through the steps. They already did all the research and checkouts and they're ready to grab more leads. So as that just happens, as these guys reappear, they're going to be able to grab more leads. Whenever we get overflow, we'll open up to more guys. Early birds get the best pricing. Pricing will go up later for everybody else, but that's beautiful. Okay, so it's just going to help us hit all our goals for you guys to allow you to roll, which you want to do. You want to roll, and you want to roll as fast as you can. So the things that got in our way for the Bangladesh guy was like a week and a half of poor internet connection, for hopping from service to service to find the right way to get the data to connect and to decrypt my leads correctly. That also involved moving from one system to another, like gohighlevel.com to next.com, to creating our own APIs to fill in gaps and figure out how to arrange campaigns by time zone and so on. Because now you call, Pacific Coast 8 to 9 a.m. and then you jump to the next time zone. You can do 8 to 9 a.m. in that time zone. Next time zone, if there happens to be 4, depending on the time of the year, 3 or 4. Plus, there's a time zone for Alaska to whatever degree we use that. Plus, there's a time zone for Hawaii for every degree that we use that. So it could be 3 plus 2. It could be 4 plus 2 time zones, right? Usually up to 5. And so we can go calling and then calling later than later, because you can call B2B multiple times. So we can call from different phone numbers, B2B, because there is no do not call as for businesses. It doesn't exist. We have the right to make them new offers. So all we're going to do is be respectful of them, but we'll still listen to what they say, see what buckets we can put some of those guys in, reach back out to those guys with a different offer and see if we can lock them in on that. And then that'll train them to kind of react to the offers anyway. The more we call through these guys, the more they're going to react. Okay? And every time we go through whoever said no before with a good offer, a good way of putting an offer, then we're probably going to pick up more guys every single time, because guys get frustrated with their bad leads at different times. Guys can listen because they aren't distracted by current leads at different times. All these guys at different times. So we're taking care of them in stacks as we go. We can always call from different numbers with different voices, making similar sounding offers, and then still lead them to the promised land. Can we do more landing pages? Yeah, we actually started some more, but this one we think is great. So we're just going to start off with it and see what we think, and then we'll throw some more into the mix. If you try with too many variables at once, you can't really tell what's working, what's not, but we're careful. So the cold call scripts, on the one hand, we've got A and B for each of these things so far. We're going to add and tweak as we go. And then landing page ideas and options, right? And so we'll tweak and improve upon those too as we go. So we got guys watching this like a hawk, guys watching that like a hawk, who are right for each of those groups, okay? This is exciting. I think we're about a week away of the actual stumble and run of literally stumble, walk, run of calling different guys literally and seeing how they react and seeing what we have to do to tweak and getting all that stuff lined up and all the settings lined up in such a way that all the stuff flows together. One of the coolest things the cold calling script guys did automatically is when they hit latency issues for the first time. Not bad, but existing. We figured out what we have to put into the knowledge base and what we have to put into the flow chart to minimize latency, and also the cleanliness of getting from point to point to point so that we don't create too many backwards loops or things that cause too much processing for the process, right? So we figured out how to minimize latency. And then beyond that, the cold caller said something like, if I'm pausing from time to time, it's because I'm taking notes during our call. And I thought, oh, that's good. Little things like that, right? And we're excited. We even ran around on YouTube. We were looking up different approaches that different cold callers put out about their best results. There's so many ways we can hit that nail on the head. So we're starting with what we've got. We'll get answers from it. We'll improve, tweak, twist, whatever as we go. And we will build up that 1% conversion, 1.5% conversion, 2% conversion, up to 5% conversion, maybe more. Especially as we keep calling back through every 3 or 4 or 5 days, once a week, whatever it is, through the guys that fit into the different buckets we establish and make different offers. And then try other guys again if they're in the bucket of maybe later, call me back later. So there will be these buckets, and we're just going to improve the percentage conversions on them, but we're going to keep expanding and growing. And I want to cover everybody ASAP. I want to get everyone what they have been funding us to do, right? As soon as possible. I want to take care of everybody and just grow with this. It can become a monster. As soon as we know we're doing well, that's when we do two things at once. One, add a lot more phone numbers and a lot more contacts to call a lot faster. There's no reason we can't call 100 leads at once. Not right away. We could be wasting money in leads, right? We'd rather call them when we feel good about the scripts. So we'll call through a few and watch the reactions until we've dialed in the best results we can. And then when we're getting good reactions and good conversions, time to scale that up. Same time we're doing that, then we clone into the next industries and start them. So we're calling new people in the same areas who don't know anything about these calls, or brand new calls, different industries, same areas, and then grow from there as well. Okay. As soon as we're getting good conversions and stuff and good responses, we'll scale that up. So you can be making 100 calls at once, 100 calls at once, 100 calls at once. And we can do it across so many of these great time zones. And in cases where the job of the company really is to take calls like this all day long, which they often do, and they hate paying for it. Google click fraud sucks. YouTube click fraud sucks. Facebook click fraud sucks. It forces the companies to have to overcharge for their services. We can really help. Okay, so yeah, very exciting, very happy to be here, and I just love it. It will not be long before we're on a roll. Probably another week, 2 weeks, we're going to be literally ready to go, guys. Okay, and scaling and hopefully providing payouts within 2 weeks from now. Okay, and I think once it hits, it's going to scale at a rate we can't even really believe, because it's so amazing that this could happen. And I can't wait to make those demo calls available so that you guys can listen in. You already heard the main demo call we've been sending you to. So it'll be fun to hear one for DUI. It'll be fun to hear one for ADAR and other industries we go into. And it's going to be fun to show those to the DUI lawyers and the auto accident lawyers and the ADAR guys, the reps, so that they want to lock and load. We're going to make those demo calls available. Listen to the demo call, and then when they click, it'll be choose your industry for the pre-qual call, that kind of thing. And then when they click, they can actually have that, or see the phone number. They can actually, for demo on this industry, call this number, something like that. And for all of you guys who are inside for your positions, we're going to be able to show what your earnings are, like in real time. It'll maybe allow you a button to say, I would like to withdraw now, or I would like to roll it over, something like that, or I would like to roll part of it over and withdraw the rest. We'll figure out how we arrange that. For you guys, that is the most important step you care about. And for us, that's the end, right? That's the icing on the cake stuff. First, we have to get all this to happen, get payment transaction data into the database, from which we can make that data available and visible to you. And that's the point where you're interested. So if all this is boring you, this is coming, but this is the most important stuff to happen first. This is the icing on the cake. It's the end of the road. It's the last step. Anyway, I think we're a week and a half to 2 weeks away from hitting that point that you guys care about the most. Okay, that's my update. I'm going to be out of touch for the next week or so as we're deep diving into this stuff. And then I'll be back. But I cannot wait. Man, I'm excited. I've been loving the calls as I've been making them and trying them out and being like a DUI lawyer, getting a cold call and just going through the script and thinking, God, this is good. So yeah, I'm totally excited. And so are the cold callers. And so are the people putting this stuff together. Everybody gets a slice of the pie. That's from our end, right? Our slice is from our end. But all of this is working out that we think we can roll you guys through this process hard and fast. I don't know what to say. I think this is the beginning of something huge. Because we will expand full speed into all 80 industries that we want to hit. And then we'll look at reaching, like MLM product owners and stuff, whoever else we want, if and when we run out of industries to contact. And frankly, that'll take time. We're going to be so busy calling and recalling through every different metro area, through all these different industries with different voices from different phone numbers, getting them used to the idea that this is a thing. AI pay for performance is a thing. And they'll catch on to that and they'll get more and more adjusted to the fact that this is the new status of the world, and either they hop on board or they miss out. They're going to have to keep paying more and more as ClickFrog goes up, charging more and more to their clients, while our guys become more and more competitive by comparison. Okay, I'm excited. All right, talk to you later. Just definitely wanted to give you an update. You guys have been patient. I'm so happy to give you this update because I'm so happy that we're here now. All right, take care.